Hello, Union Redhawks. Thank you for tuning into the Union Redhawk podcast, run by students and for the students. My name is Maxim Zavarzin, and I'm here joined with
Eli Hayes, and today we're going to be talking about post-secondary opportunities, mainly pros and cons for both college and trade schools.
Okay, so to start off with, we're going to be, this is mainly just alternatives for college and education, because a lot of students, they feel like they go to college, they go to university, and then they pick a degree, and that degree doesn't work out, maybe it's not towards their interests, or maybe that's not what they want to do for a living, and maybe they have a passion for something with their hands on, like electrical engineering,
welding,
construction, welding, all these career paths are mainly achieved through trade schools. So trade schools are great alternatives. They're often referred to as vocational schools. They provide students with a career-focused training program in a specific field. Trade students can receive hard skills training for careers in healthcare, manufacturing, technology, construction, and many other fields. And what's great about these programs is that they're specific to their career, right? Everything that you learn is not based around general courses like university and college, like first year.
It's like healthcare students, they have to go to all these classes for like hours upon hours at a time, and they don't really go into the workforce right away.
Yeah, that too. Especially with like medicine, you can be in school for 8 years.
Law, you can be in there for 8 years as well, maybe, and sometimes up to 10.
Yeah, well, I think that's more related towards the medical field, but law too. Well,
law takes a little while.
My opinion, I personally think unless you're going to be going into school to become an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer, sometimes post-secondary education, or more specifically university and college, might not be necessarily for you. I guess you can always go into a business field or marketing, which those are really vast fields, right? There's plenty of job opportunities, but I personally think I'd rather go into a program like a specialization or certificate of specialization, right? So a career or certificate of specialization are often programs offered by colleges, right? Like TCC, for example. A great example would be programming. Like if you want to go into software engineering, or it's not engineering but software development, or to be rather proficient in code, you can take a specialization or certificate of specialization that's offered by, like, say, TCC. You spend 2 years, a fraction of the price, right? And you get that same certificate. You get you're certified in this code. Very easy to find employment that way. And plus, you don't waste a lot of time in school. You don't waste a lot of money, and you can go from achieving the certificate going right to find employment.
Yeah. Also, going back to like what you said about like going to college for business, you could also teach learn a lot of that stuff that you can learn at college for business online. Like if you want to learn how to get into the stock market and how to trade, like you can just look that up online.
That's true. All that information is free, and it's all to your own well. That's why that's another thing I want to talk about, specifically towards business and finance. If you want to work into like a corporate position, right, then I find that it is necessary to get that kind of degree. It's just necessary to go to school for 4 years, maybe get your master's, get your bachelor, get your master's in business, and then maybe find yourself a position working for some big blue chip company or something like that. You work with portfolios, or you try to sell a company image. But let's say if you want to take your own entrepreneurial route, I think taking those courses are kind of pointless, because then you kind of learn everything, like as you said, online, right? I can learn pretty much. There's a lot I can learn about money just by reading, right? There's a lot of personal finance novels out there. There's
Dave Ramsey.
I suppose I'm not really a big fan. I'm really a big fan of other investors like Robert Kiyosaki and his mindset about money. That's a whole different conversation though. But if you want to run your own business, I personally think that you should not waste your time with school. Like if you really deep down inside, you feel like you can run that business, you're willing to put in that work, you think that you're set out for it, right? And you're part of that group, then school's not for you. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? You can still become just as successful. It's just harder, and you have to think more, rather on the more creative side. How to find some capital, and then how to invest all that money and how to start your own business. But like I'm telling you this right now, if you want to learn about money, school is not the place necessarily to go. Maybe I guess a finance degree will teach you everything you need to know about finance, right, specifically to that sector. But you can learn all that for free, all of it.
Oh yeah.
And we got the most greatest invention of all time, the internet, right? To return back to trade schools, we were going to go over kind of just what shines some light on trade schools, right?
Yeah.
To give them a little more of an attractive approach. I was hoping that you maybe
Yeah.
could give us some pointers from your research that you made.
Cheaper.
Yeah,
That's probably the most well known. Is that very cheaper? Like, so cost of college is usually $20,000 per year, which if you go to a 4-year university, that's approximately $80,000 per year that you're paying.
Yeah.
And plus at like bigger name colleges like Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, it's going to be more expensive.
Give or take, I don't know, it's like around 55 to 60 for OU. Last time I checked. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one point. Speaking of which, all of our resources come from the list of websites from Indeed.com, bestcolleges.com, intercoast.edu, and thebalancingcareers.com as well. To return back to trades, to the topic of trade schools, yeah, they are definitely pro-cost. You're spending significantly less money. Another big one is you're spending less time. You know, most of these programs are 1 to 2 years, and they're great. Why they're great? Because they give you hands-on experience, right? You know,
and you can go right into an apprenticeship, start making money, while also learning even more about the job that you're going into.
That's true, and that's one big benefit about it is because not only do you get certified in it, you get the experience. That's great on the resume because you say, hey, I shadowed this person. Right.
Yep.
I have a general understanding of this field. I'm not going to have to go through the basic training. You just sign me up, right? And you get straight to work. And a great thing about a lot of these jobs is that they pay pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, especially let's go into a more specific field. Welding is a very much needed skill, especially if you're proficient in it, right?
Yes.
And there's jobs like underwater welding, right, where you need.
It's very dangerous.
It is. Well, it depends. It really depends on the location. It also depends if whether or not you cut corners or not, because most jobs are not dangerous if you take every safety precaution.
That is true.
But they pay.
Thank you, OSHA.
Yeah. They pay upwards to $120,000. $120,000 is quite a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And it's a busy job. You're definitely going to be. It takes a lot of skill too. It's quite nerve-wracking initially.
Also, a lot of manual labor.
Yeah, manual labor too. Construction pays very well. And also, the thing is, you don't always have to work in construction since they're pretty well-paying jobs. If you educate yourself about money and income on the side, right, and you teach yourself about investing, you
can start your own mechanic shop.
Maybe that too. And that's a great thing about going to trade school is that once you're certified in this business, you are legally allowed to sell that service under your own business, right? And then running your own business has plenty of tax deductions. There's actually plenty of benefits of having your own business, right? It's a lot of work, right? It's definitely a lot of work, but it's worth it. And trade schools actually give you the opportunity to do too. So does college. You know, doctors can run their own business too. You get a degree, you can run your own firm. Or as a lawyer, you can run your own firm. As a doctor, you can have your own clinic. And that's the same goes for trade schools. But trade schools are less of those, less like of the medical and law fields. You know.
Yeah.
And they're more of the hands-on. And
also, like architecture. You can start your own architectural business. Yeah.
Of course. This whole podcast is not to really shame on college. College is a fantastic experience. You meet great people. It's a whole different world, right?
Whenever you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that too.
You're gonna meet new people that you never saw in high school.
Well, that too. Same thing in trade schools as well.
That is true.
But more, it's the environment.
Yeah.
College and university, it's a different environment. You meet different people. It's it's a great experience. I honestly recommend it for many people. Some people, college isn't for them because some people can't sit in a classroom. And then, therefore, if you just want to find a job that you like working with your hands, trade school is perfect for you because there's plenty of selections.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be specialized in anything. The only thing you really need is a diploma. That's another thing you want to talk about in trade school.
Yeah, you don't have to submit your ACT or SAT scores.
Yeah, all you have to do is graduate. When you have your diploma, you graduate. And you can go
That's all you have to show, and you can go right in.
Fantastic. It's cost effective, it takes less time, and it doesn't really require that much to get into. And it pretty much closely guarantees you a job because in today's market, a lot of those manual labor jobs and a lot of trade schools
they need more people. Yeah. They're on very high demand.
And they're a fantastic alternative. And so goes for certificates of specialization. A lot of schools a lot of companies, especially companies in tech, are not necessarily hiring people with degrees anymore because as long as you can bring results to the table, they're more likely to get hired. Now, There's also the topic of whether or not you're educated. They talk about pay. Like if you have a degree in, let's say, computer or
Yeah.
computer science, you get paid more than the guy who doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at the same time, if you look at it, if you bring more results to the table, of course, it's whoever brings the most results to the company gets paid the most.
Yes.
So don't undermine a certificate of specialization, because even if you get that time, you also save yourself up to 2 years. Save yourself 2 years
Mm-hmm.
and like 50 grand.
Yeah.
You know, because like the average cost of trade schools are 25 to 33 grand total.
Yeah.
Total. And
That's for 2 years and instantly going into the workforce with an apprenticeship, getting paid money and being able to pay that all back.
yeah, you do get paid. You get paid to study these things because or you get paid to study in trade school because you're taking a much needed position within society and you're fulfilling it.
Yeah.
And so that's these trade schools is not something to sleep on. Trade schools are a fantastic method of education. They're a fantastic way to find yourself a job, and if you do love working for your hands, it's the perfect way to go. I mean, save yourself time, save yourself the hassle of going to college, realizing, hey, man, I don't really like this, and go straight to trade. I suggest that you go to trades. If you're not really that big of a guy who sits in a classroom, or just cut the time in half. Find a job that's really in high demand nowadays, like tech. Tech is booming nowadays, especially with the metaverse.
Oh, yeah.
The
metaverse.
And now,
Let's not get into that.
well, it's a very vast topic. And
Yeah,
crypto right
it
now
is.
Also
That as
infant
well.
Stage, but it's also growing, and that's tech. All of it's tech. Blockchain's
Yeah.
tech. The metaverse is tech. All of it's tech, and it's making
It
a
is.
lot of money. And if you would love to, if you're really big into computers and you really love that field, yeah, and try and get yourself a certificate within that field. Find yourself employment there, or you can take the long route, go to college, university.
Yeah. But even been like for colleges, like you can leave at any time you want and come back and you still have those credits.
That too. Yeah.
Plus you can transfer those credits over to other colleges. Also, another thing that colleges offer more than trade schools are communication and critical thinking skills.
That too.
Like they teach you how to work with a team.
Mm-hmm.
But so do trade schools.
I'm sure there are programs.
Yeah.
That are team oriented.
Yeah.
But yeah, college takes especially with the basics. You take basic courses like math, sciences, English.
Your general education out of the way.
Basically teaches you basic problem solving skills.
Yeah.
You work with other students, or you work by yourself. It all really depends on how you take college. You can not even show up to class in college. That's another great thing about college is it's really flexible. You can not show up to class ever, and then you can come show up and absolutely do fantastic on the exams, and you can still pass, get your degree and everything. There's plenty of benefits for both. Right?
Yeah, there are.
I personally think.
But there's also a lot of cons to both.
Well, I suppose there are more or less cons to. I suppose there's more or less cons to college and university than there are to trades.
Yeah.
And I'd suggest that you really think about trades if you don't like a classroom.
Yeah.
Right. Then again, you might not like the field that you're studying in. Do your research for everything. Again, the 4 websites that we really looked into were www.nd.com, bestcolleges.com, intercoast.edu, and thebalancedcareers.com. These 4 websites really give you a nice little grasp on all the information that we're really talking to you today. We're just trying to summarize it. Just say, hey, listen, if you're really not sure about college or university, here's an alternative route. Don't force yourself into a decision that you're going to regret later. Don't waste time. Just
also,
do what you want to do.
One thing that I've learned throughout all my years of living is if you want to go into like a certain field or a certain position, like talk with somebody who is in that position.
That too. Yeah.
Ask them how they like it, like what is it all about, and maybe kind of get a little bit of a feel for it, see if it's really something you want to do.
And another plug we can put in here is make sure to stop by your college and career center and talk with your counselor. And figure out, say, hey, I'm really interested in maths. I'm really interested in sciences. And talk with your counselor, and your counselor will lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
He can, you mentioned him.
Mr. Dalfit.
Mr. Dalfit has a great program where he
the Career Connect program, where he can
to apprenticeships, and you can work with people, and you can understand how a certain field works, right? for example, I heard you was talking about business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can work with businesses to figure out how the whole infrastructure.
Yeah,
works,
like
stuff that.
Mr. Dalfit said that he had that one of the sponsors of the program is Hideaway Pizza,
Hideaway Pizza.
and that he can get you as like an internship with the CEO. No, not CEO, but
I wasn't
I think
sure.
manager of one of the
Yeah,
stores.
and then you understand how the whole business runs. Or
Yeah.
You understand how that specific chain runs, and it's great knowledge.
It is very, very great knowledge.
And you don't really invest. You invest like what was it, an hour a day? We have a student.
2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. Yeah, 2 hours a day.
56.
And it's really
Yeah,
valuable.
bug schedule.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Hi, this is Mr. Douthit in the College Career Center at Union High School, and I'm calling all juniors and seniors, and maybe some of you sophomores too. Hey, you have to have a plan when you leave high school, so whatever that plan may be, we here in the College Career Center can help you out, so come see us.
Of course. Well, with that being said, this should give you just a general idea, just to kind of let you know, hey, there's other alternatives other than to college and university.
Yeah.
Not to be really afraid, because especially, this is really, for my age group, for seniors and juniors, really.
It's a very tough topic.
Yeah, because we're trying to figure out what we want to do, right? Where we want to go.
Yeah, like you want to do what's best for you, but you also want to hang out with your friends at the same time.
Of course, yeah, social life's very important.
Yeah.
But this is also a question for you as well, because you want to start taking those tiny little baby steps towards what you want to do for the future. And the fact how you're already educating yourself right now, it's like, hey, I want to do this and this and this. It's always great to start as soon as possible. So
It is.
If you start making these decisions now, you don't have to rush when you are in senior year, or let's say you're like halfway through your junior year, and like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what I want to do. You have plenty of time. A lot of students have no idea what they want to do.
Yeah, no.
It's a difficult world out there. You got to find out
It
what
is.
you're interested in, what you're passionate about. Because if you love what you do, you're not working. You're just
Yeah.
doing you're just doing what you enjoy, right? And
Yeah.
you make a bonus of making money while doing it. Always find out what you're passionate about, because when you find out what you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in with us on the Union Red Hawk podcast. My name was Max, and I was joined with Eli today, and we really appreciate you guys listening to us today.
Have a great day.
Fantastic day.